Thanks, Tom, and congratulations to yourself and the Canis team and to Conla and Amy and all that brought this together. I'm delighted to be here, and I join you today in very different times as to when I first took the stage at the launch, I think, of Beltech, which was 6 years ago, and not least that I'm actually now joining you virtually from my garden at home. But as we're all becoming to learn, virtual meetings are becoming the new normal. And in fact, this is the third conference I presented digitally in the last month. And that is really illustrative of how important digital innovation has been to how we have responded to the crisis. When I first spoke at Beltech in 2014, I was a partner in a venture capital firm, and we just launched a growth fund in NI. And today I join you as Digital Innovation Commissioner in Belfast City Council and chair of the digital pillar of the Belfast Region City Team. And I've taken up this role during the pandemic. I started on the 1st of April. And I think it's testament both to the leadership of the council, which we're here again, as Beltech was founded under Suzanne Wiley, and their foresight in recognising just how vital digital innovation is in both the recovery, the here and now where we are in the pandemic, but also in developing long-term economic strategies that are inclusive and sustainable for all. And core to that has been collaboration with our city and our business partners, along with our elected members, businesses and communities. And Tom, as you mentioned at the start, today I'm going to talk about our digital ambition for Belfast. And although I've moved from private to public sector for the first time in 25 years, I see many corollaries between my previous role, as both are based on developing compelling investment strategies, directing our regional strengths to address global opportunities. And core to that is to ensure that these strategies deliver a compelling economic impact, but with my public hat on, also ensuring that these are inclusive and sustainable for all. We have all been impacted by the pandemic, our families, our jobs, our ways of life. However, what has been clear is the important role that digital innovation has played in ensuring we have navigated the crisis, and how important it will be in developing a resilient strategy to underpin sustainable and inclusive economic growth. McKinsey have quoted in April that responding to the twin challenges of a public health crisis and an economic downturn require a new playbook, rapid innovation, learning and adaptation. And this is not a time for retrenchment, but a time to lead with hope. In fact, studies from Boston Consulting Group have shown that the best time to grow differentially is when aggregate growth is low. And the current pandemic is not a reason to postpone innovation and investment. I guess in reflection, the first thing to note that COVID-19 is fundamentally a medical crisis and not a financial one, like the 2008 crisis. Even more obvious, it has nothing to do with technology like the dot-com bust. If anything, it's interesting to note how tech-friendly this recession period has been, with society kept inside, the likely beneficiaries being Amazon, Netflix and Zoom. But pandemics can also force faster innovation, and they may accelerate the curve and provide strong tailwinds. In fact, in Microsoft's recent earnings calls, they stated, "We have seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months." So the basics for innovation have been figured out. However, due to the asymmetric impact to the economically disadvantaged during the crisis, there will be a need to expand priorities beyond traditional GDP growth. Economic recovery not only has a rate, but it also has a direction. And this is an opportunity to embed the changes to develop a more sustainable, dynamic and inclusive economy. And in City Council, we're committed to delivery of proactive, forward-looking digital innovation strategies that will tilt the playing field in directions where both business and society can win. However, I'm not underestimating the scale of this challenge. The economic impact of COVID-19 has brought into sharp focus urgent skills challenges for Belfast. Our existing challenges remain, though exacerbated, and structured changes to our economy boast further dilemmas. The skills required for a post-pandemic world, digital skills, design thinking, entrepreneurship and innovation will be crucial to Belfast recovery. Our ability to build the digital capacity of our workforce is therefore essential. Lack of digital skills and capacity has already been shown to exacerbate regional disparities, and this will grow in a post-COVID world. Digitalisation is increasingly changing the face of our economy by fueling the continued growth of sectors associated with the digital industry, as well as delivering innovation and technological advantages in how every sector operates its business. However, research undertaken by CBI highlighted the biggest constraint to business growth within the sector was access to talent. And as defined in the recent labour market implications of COVID-19, there is a critical need for intervention to address digital skills for employability. Currently, 258,000 people have been furloughed or laid off in Northern Ireland, representing 30% of NI employment. And young people are disproportionately impacted. 18% of those furloughed are under 25 years, and 45% of total workers are under 25 years are furloughed or laid off. Cohorts entering the labour market during these periods have faced higher unemployment, lower paid and poor job prospects up to a decade late, and may be adversely affected compared to young people entering the workforce after the downturn. However, I still have the same conviction, notwithstanding these challenges as I stood here 6 years ago at the conference. I still believe there's a compelling case for delivering an ambitious investment plan based on digital innovation that not only enables us to recover, but also delivers a transformative impact for business and society. What has been clearly demonstrated through the crisis is how resilient the digital innovation sector has been, and what a key economic driver it is in developing a solid platform from which to develop a digital innovation strategy which is inclusive for all. Whilst many sectors have suffered job losses and sharp declines in sales, the tech sector has been highly resilient in responding to the challenges presented by COVID. Vintru has continued to expand throughout the period. They've welcomed 75 new colleagues delivered through financial services academies in the past 2 months. Last week's report by FDI ranked Belfast 9th in top European cities of the future based on economic potential, cost effectiveness, startup, innovation, and FDI. And in fintech, we were ranked top 3 globally. In Belfast, in the last decade, we have seen a wave of innovation from homegrown startups and a developing ecosystem. Belfast has an impressive levels of FDI from the global leaders in technology and industry, including a vibrant fintech and cyber ecosystem, with all state, city, and Unisquare all represented here today. And it's important to note the quality of these jobs that these employers are bringing. Tech Nation's report launched earlier this week indicate that the median salary for a Northern Ireland tech employee is around the 40k level. Invest has also delivered an access to finance schemes, which I was part of 6 years ago, which underpinned an increase in VC investment. In 2013, there was 4 million invested into early stage tech companies at the launch of this conference. And Tech Nation's latest report this week indicates that's 100 million for 2019. We also have 2 high-tech homegrown unicorns in Canis and FD, and 2 emerging deep tech PLCs in dialytics and fusion antibodies. An Octopus Group in 2019 ranked QUB #1 in a study identifying the universities that are leading the way in creating and commercialising the academic research through spin-out companies, with a number of notable successes again, such as Canis, Andor and Fusion, all of which have been listed on the London Stock Exchange. Interesting to note the University of Cambridge and Cardiff are placed 2nd and 3rd respectively in that ranking. In the last number of months, we have also seen the very welcome $1 billion commitment into city deals across Northern Ireland, which provides a compelling platform from which we need to develop truly inclusive and sustainable industrial strategies with innovation at their core. Investing in innovation as underpinned by these deals will be crucial as the UK looks to rebuild its economy post-COVID. But innovation policy should not simply return to business as usual. While the pandemic will make these issues more pressing, the UK's government to increasing public spending in research and development gives us an opportunity to rethink, to support recovery, innovation policies which focus on creating a more balanced, resilient economy whose benefits are shared widely. In my view, this practice means, firstly, creating innovation policies that serve the whole economy. In NI and in Belfast, we have excellent universities delivering world-class research, and in the private sectors, we have a strong track record of Indigenous businesses, global FDI organisations, and a vibrant startup ecosystem. For me, the real prize is to be realised from the digital innovation ambition is to bring these parties together in strategic collaboration, leveraging the capabilities of the university's innovation centres of excellence, in concert with our SMEs to drive productivity within the economy and using this approach to deliver compelling competitive advantage for key sectors. We need to build on strategies to retain and attract FDI businesses who may be considering nearshoring due to concerns regarding supply chains, and examine opportunities to position Belfast and Northern Ireland as a location for more FDI and as a resilient location in terms of backgrounds in trade wars. But we also have to acknowledge that it's not just frontier sectors that are important to focus on. Small productivity improvements in sectors that employ large numbers of people could have a big effect on overall productivity and crucially in the well-being and livelihoods of many people in NI. More investment is needed to help innovation to diffuse across the economy and to support innovation in sectors that are not normally thought of as being at the technological frontier, to focus on high-value, labour-rich markets given the likely pool of the unemployed. We must also support these businesses address emerging global and environmental challenges and support increases in productivity and competitiveness. In NI, this is directly relevant to our agri and manufacturing sectors and how we can give them and support them in navigating the challenges and opportunities of a drive to net zero carbon and Industry 4.0. Secondly, we must take a very proactive approach to guiding innovation in the public interest. Market forces alone do not always produce innovations that create societal value. We have an opportunity to develop institutional infrastructures for more proactive democratic governance of innovation, enabling the UK's innovation system to fully embrace a mission-led approach to R&D. And lastly, we also need to ensure that NI is factored into the UK government's levelling up agenda, and there is a far greater focus on building innovation and capacity across the country. Public spending on R&D is heavily skewed towards London, Oxford and Cambridge, which receive 52% of investment despite having only 37% of the population. Innovation policy should shift from a place-blind to a place-sensitive approach. The UK's nations, cities and regions need resources and capacity to build and develop their own innovation priorities. Many of you will have seen the recent analysis published in the Nesta report, The Missing 4 Billion, which indicated that NI is critically disadvantaged in terms of regional imbalance in R&D spending in the UK, which has resulted in it becoming amongst the lowest productivity per person. The report indicated that in order to level up per capita spending on R&D to the levels currently achieved in London, the South East and East England, an additional spending of 250 million would need to go to Northern Ireland. I believe the establishment of the Digital Innovation Commissioner role, championed by Belfast City Council and supported through the Digital Innovation Partnership and the Belfast Region City Deal, indicate the importance of the digital innovation in driving economic growth, which is sustainable and inclusive for all. It's a strong statement of intent and leadership in the desire to provide real focus and to maximise the impact of the once-in-a-generation opportunity that innovation brings. I and we in Belfast City Council and our partners and building a Belfast's solid platform of innovation, skills and resiliency are optimistic and ambitious for the opportunities ahead. And I'll leave you with a reflection before handing over to Deborah to describe more of our Belfast Ambition programmes from another of Belfast's great innovators, which takes me back to when I first attended Beltech launch in 2014. From C.L. Lewis, who says, "Isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different." Thank you.